So we're here with Stephen Jennings, CEO of Renaissance Capital. Stephen, could you just start by telling us, will RenCap be able to bounce back in the Russian equity underwriting business after being knocked off the #1 perch by VTB last year?
No, we really have a pan-EMEA business, and in metals and mining and natural resources, we have global emerging market businesses. So, I think last year we did transactions in 25 countries. We're very strong across many of those geographies. So there's different competitive dynamics, in all of those. But I think overall our market position across EMEA has strengthened, dramatically actually over the last year or so. And if you look at our market share in London, trading the Russian names, we're in a #1 position in virtually all of the big names. So if you look at narrow parts of the market, there's more competition than some other areas. But overall, we're very happy with our market position.
Okay, just another question on Russia. You missed out on the privatization of Sberbank to a number of other banks, JP Morgan included.
Yes.
What role does role can RenCap have in future sales? And do you think the government's plans are realistic given the ambitious scope?
Yes. Yes, Sberbank's a competitor, so it's a little hard to get into their IPO. We have a fantastic IPO track record. We're the only bank with a 100% closure rate in the market this year. We're working on another very big deal at the moment. So I think in terms of our distribution and our research, we're very much the #1 house if we can get on a level playing field. And we have a number of mandates we're working on for the state. So I think we'll end up playing a big role in the privatization program.
Okay, and just looking outside of Russia now, how much of RenCap's profit comes from outside of Russia? And is the bank winning business from Chinese companies looking to invest in Africa and vice versa, African companies looking to invest in Hong Kong and Asia?
Yeah, about 40% of our revenues are from outside of Russia. That's up from 10%, say, 3 years ago. We did 2 African IPOs in the last week, including in very difficult market conditions. We're selling a lot of African assets, in particular the Chinese. We're buying a lot of African assets for the Indians. So we're very much involved in this integration of the emerging markets, including with Asian clients.
Sure, and I think you spoke to Bloomberg last year, and just referencing something from that, you announced plans to buy 5 or 6 African brokerages.
Yes.
How are those plans coming along, and what's kind of happened to them?
Yeah, the big one was BJM, which was the last independent brokerage in South Africa, which we acquired just over a year ago. I think they had a 15 or 16 market share when we acquired them. I was down in SA last week, so we're regularly #1 in turnover. Overall, we're ranking about #4 or #5, but we're definitely the momentum player in that market. And then we've continued investing very heavily into our other franchises across Africa, most notably in Nigeria.
Sure. And just finally, a quick question on Brazil, if I may. Have the plans there stalled? And also, with looking at the Middle East, how has the Arab Spring sort of impacted on plans to open up in Pakistan and Bangladesh and Egypt, for instance?
We see big opportunities. We're looking at our Egypt entry strategy now. In principle, we would like to do something. We see tremendous medium-term opportunity. So we'd like to build a hub for MENA based in Cairo, and that's something we're working on right now, in fact. And that will mean we're in all the big capital markets across EMEA and building leading market positions in all of them.
Just a final quick question on the conference, actually. What sort of mood does it create having these sort of conferences? What can it do for businesses such as RenCap and other banks locally?
There's 2,500 people at this conference. That's up 500 on last year, which I think says something about our market position, but it also says something about the level of interest in Russia. So, these are great gathering points. There's 5,000 one-on-ones, a huge amount of business and dialogue takes place on the back of a conference like this.